Hello everyone, this is Nimish. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to review the movie Bhimasena Nala Maharaja, directed by Kartik Saragur. This movie stars Arvind Iyer, Arohi Narayan, Achyuta Kumar, Priyanka Thimesh and a few other people. It is very interesting as a project because it has been, it has all the minds of some great people like Rakshit Shetty, Hemant Rao, Simple Suni and many others. Pushkar Films, some great production houses, Paramva Studios, everyone coming together and giving us this film direct on Amazon Prime Video. Right off the bat, I'd like to say that this is incredible. This movie is absolutely entertaining. It is very, very thoroughly filled with good performances, good storytelling, lots of subplots. It is going to keep you gripped, hooked, entertained from start to the right end. And definitely more towards the end for those of you who have seen it. It gets really amazing and really creative towards the end. And so this movie is a must watch. So that is my high level quick review of Bhimasena Nala Maharaja. Now let's get into some of the details. I want to start with the fact that the performances of the lead actor Arvind Iyer was incredible. I've not seen him before, and this might be one of his first mainstream big films that he's doing, a big project that he's doing. And I think he's a revelation. He is going to be one of the biggest superstars in the future because he has the right balance of acting value and acting talent and approaching a character as opposed to making it entertaining enough, and he has the personality to make it to the big league. So I do see him amongst a lot of other new people. I do see him as one of the person that will not stick to such kind of concept films or smaller films. He's going to be pretty big in the future. He has that X factor going for him, and he's really, really very talented. So definitely he's going to get a lot more projects. Everyone else, Arohi Narayan, Achyuta Kumar, Priyanka Thimesh, great performances. It just goes to show how everyone has understood their characters very well, especially Arohi Narayan, who starts out with this sort of, loud, cheerful, sort of energetic, bubbly character who has a hidden sort of, pain to her. And then she transforms in the second half of the movie to barely speak anything. Not revealing too much of the story, but I think it goes to show how well she has done that sort of graph of the character and performed very convincingly for that character. So really good job by the two lead actors, and of course we have stunning performance again by Achyuta Kumar, who convinces us each time that he is the character that you see in every movie of his. You don't even see that particular person behind it, so he's outstanding. And then of course we have Priyanka Thimesh, who I think is the fourth lead in the movie if we think of it that way, and she has also done a very good job. None of the acting or performances of the main characters stand out, spring out, or are weak or are bad in any way. So kudos to the entire team. In terms of the story, it is very well detailed. It starts by exploring, a couple relationships. It goes into the depths of every character, whether it's Arvind's character, Arohi's character, the character of Kenda, the character of the little girl. It goes into a lot of sort of character analysis and background, including Achyuta Kumar's character. And that's what I really liked about the writing, that none of the characters are guess-worthy or template. Each and every character, even the smallest ones, they have gone into the background, like the doctor character. They immediately gave us a quick 40-second overview of what this character is. And I think that's very important. It completely changes how you perceive the character. For example, the doctor character, when he shows up, or the psychologist character, when he shows up on the screen for the first time, he's analyzing a sort of medical condition. And at that point, he obviously came across as very over the top and sort of like dramatic. And I thought he was overacting. And I was like, what? Why? How did they decide to cast him? And why did they cast him? And why is he being, not so compassionate as a psychologist and over analyzing and over dramatic about it? But then when they gave the background of the character, I completely, changed my perception, and I was completely absorbed by his character and the way he talks and the way he walks, and everything was justified. So I think that is very, very important, and they have focused on those kind of nuances, which is great. in terms of the story itself, as I said, not only the characters are great, but there's a lot of ups and downs. There's some comedic moments, there's a lot of emotional moments that really gut you, it really touch you very well, and you can really feel the endearing performances come through that writing and the subplots and the story plot points. So very well written project. In terms of the cinematography, this is something that I feel the Kannada film industry can keep doing better. For example, the movie like Mundina Nildana, which released, again on, I think I saw it on Prime Video a month ago or something like that. It is so fresh in the look. Another movie like Kate Ondu Shuruvagide was fresh to the eyes, it's pleasing to the eyes. You can watch it like a national production, an international production. So I think the one thing that the Kannada film industry needs to keep doing better is getting that look right. Prithviraj has always focused on this in the Malayalam film industry, and he has said that the South Indian film industry needs to focus on the look. So you'll see that his films always look good. Adam Jones, Ezra, things like that. They really focused on that cinematic element, the fresh international look and the filters and everything. And I do think the Kannada film industry needs to sort of get that sort of improved on the technical front. And so even in this one, although it was really good, really worked well for the film, there was some scope to get that part a little better. But that doesn't affect the film, because the film is so great and entertaining and gets you absorbed. That being said, there is a couple things that I feel like it should have been better, and there is one loophole. So let's cover the loophole first, because this is very interesting. And if you've not watched the movie, I would stop this review at this point, because this is going to be a little of a spoiler, not much, but a little. So I'm trying to keep it as vague as possible, but there is a plot point where when the main character narrates his childhood and things like that, he says that this temple incident happened where two lives crossed. And for those of you who have watched, we know what the temple incident is. And we are never told in the rest of the movie whether the girl knew that it was them at the temple. And that to me is a very big question. And because I watched the movie with subtitles, I always like to not point it out as a loophole, but ask the question if anybody has an answer. If the girl ever found out that it was the same couple guys at the temple, it is fair to assume that the guys know that it's the girl because she might have told them, but did they tell her back, and what were the consequences of that particular discussion? So I think that part is definitely, from my understanding, we missed out on that completely on the movie, and they didn't cover it, or they edited it out, or they felt like it's not fitting in. So that to me was one loophole in the movie, which is a pretty large loophole, because if the girl doesn't know, then there are going to be significant consequences when she finds out. So what do we have there? So I'll let you leave your comments on that particular discussion point. There are a couple other things though that I feel should have been better. One is the title of the movie. I don't think the title of the movie justifies the audience to select that movie and watch it. Bhimasena Nala Maharaja, along with the poster of the warrior sort of, epic Bhim sort of poster with the, old look from the mythology, did not drive me to immediately select the film, because I was like, do I need to be in that mindset? Am I expecting a fantasy film? Am I expecting a mythology film? Those kind of elements, were a little confusing for me if this is a movie about a chef and then how he was a chef and, about various lifespans. The second thing about the movie was it was promoted a lot as a savory dish and a food thing. And I was expecting a food movie. When I finally put it on, I was like, it's going to be about food, about cooking, about a journey of a chef, whether it's in the past life, present life. So I was excited to watch a food movie, but it wasn't a food movie. Of course, I got a much better movie than a food movie, but I think that promotion tactic was also not perfect. All the posters, if you look up for Bhimasena, has him stirring up a pot. You have Twitter promotions that are talking about the food element, the dish element, and I just don't get it. I don't see this movie being a food film at all, and therefore that to me was also something that they should have not done. They should have approached it as a much fresher movie. Movies like Love Mocktail and Diya have done so well on Amazon Prime Video, and they clearly tell you that it is a sort of love story, a relationship story, a story of a particular bunch of characters. And with that vibe, I think Bhimasena would have attracted a lot more attention, a lot more excitement to be like, oh, there's going to be one more movie like Love Mocktail and Diya from the Kannada film industry. It's going to be a hat trick on Prime Video or on OTT platforms. It's going to be exciting. And I think that that's where they missed the boat. Having said that, I do think Bhimasena Nala Maharaja is better than Love Mocktail and Diya for a variety of reasons. And primarily because of, I think, the performances, the depth of the writing. I think that the actors in this movie have a much larger future than the others. So there's a lot going on when you compare three films. I'm not trying to compare and say necessarily that they are the same field and they need to be compared and there's competition. Good films should continue to come out. They're all good in their own right. But if I had to recommend one out of these three, I would recommend Bhimasena because it has that extra edge. It is really, really a well-made film. So I think I've covered a lot of discussion points, and I would like to know what your thoughts are as well on Bhimasena Nalla Maharaja. I congratulate the team. This was a really awesome movie. I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to everyone's comments on my question on the loophole and plot point, because I am still very jitty about that and trying to think about what might happen if what was the open ending there. So leave your comments below. Let me know how you like this review. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and keep watching for much more.